So if you were to bring the black share of wealth at least to the black share of the population, it would require an additional at least $10 trillion.
But if we were paid those unskilled wages at a 6% interest rate, we would have $6.2 quadrillion that we would be owed today.
Reparations is the key. The story have black folks come and talk about what kind of hell they live and have people have to listen. Reparations will set us free.
Biden announces $800 million in new aid after Zelensky plea. President Biden on Wednesday announced new military assistance for Ukraine that will include anti-aircraft defenses, drones, and other weaponry, offering fresh U.S. support in the wake of an urgent plea from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Biden announced $800 million in new assistance for Ukraine, which, paired with $200 million authorized over the weekend, brings the total new aid for the country to $1 billion over the past week. Let's check out this video.
On Saturday, my administration authorized another $200 million to keep a steady flow of weapons and ammunition moving to Ukraine. Now I'm once again using my presidential authority to activate an additional security assistance to continue to help Ukraine fend off Russia's assault, an additional $800 million in assistance. That brings the total of new U.S. security assistance to Ukraine to $1 billion just this week. These are direct transfers of equipment from our Department of Defense to the Ukrainian military to help them as they fight against this invasion. And I thank the Congress for appropriating these funds. This new package on its own is going to provide unprecedented assistance to Ukraine. It includes 800 anti-aircraft systems to make sure the Ukrainian military can continue to stop the planes and helicopters that have been attacking their people and to defend their Ukrainian airspace. And at the request of President Zelensky, we have identified and are helping Ukraine acquire additional longer-range anti-aircraft systems and the munitions for those systems. Our new assistance package also includes 9,000 anti-armor systems. These are portable, high accuracy shoulder-mounted missiles that the Ukrainian forces have been using with great effect to destroy invading tanks and armored vehicles. It'll include 7,000 small arms, machine guns, shotguns, grenade launchers to equip the Ukrainians, including the brave women and men who are defending their cities as civilians, and they're on the countryside as well. And as well as the ammunition, artillery, and mortar rounds to go with small arms, 20 million rounds in total, 20 million rounds. And this will include drones, which demonstrates our commitment to sending our most cutting-edge systems to Ukraine for its defense.
All right, so $1 billion, huh?
$1 billion.
I mean, this is starting to be taxation without representation because, you know, nothing's getting done for Black American descendants at all, but all our money is going to these foreign aid initiatives. Really frustrating. She's a true trailblazer. Stockton's first Black teacher turns 102 years old. Henry grew up in Columbia, South Carolina. Her father was a railroad fireman, and her mother was also a teacher. She took the steps to become a teacher, graduating from Tuskegee Institute in Alabama with a Bachelor's of Science degree in education. Teaching 6 years in segregated schools in the South in 1947, she moved west, applying to teach in Stockton Unified School District. So it happened, the color barrier for teaching in Stockton was broken. Her teaching career spanned 52 years, teaching thousands of students. On her 100th birthday, the school bearing her name celebrated her life as she told stories of her career for others to learn from. She's a true trailblazer, and she made a huge difference and huge impact on our Stockton community, especially the kids here, said Henry Elementary School Principal Eddie Mr. Van Bun. Henry has had a scholarship in her name since 1969, but perhaps her most rewarding achievement is her legacy of a now diverse teaching staff in Stockton. Now, Yamoya, didn't you say that you have family members who had to drive from Sacramento to Stockton or that way to in order to teach, because Sacramento was not allowing Black teachers at one point in time?
Yeah, that's correct. My grandmother on my dad's side, my dad's mother, when they first moved to California, specifically Sacramento, like in the early 50s, I want to say. As you were mentioning, unfortunately, Black teachers weren't getting jobs here. I guess technically weren't being allowed here to teach. So yeah, she had to go to Stockton to
Okay,
teach.
so Miss Henry paved the way for other Black teachers to be able to go to Stockton and teach.
And to clarify, I believe her first name is Wilhelmina, correct?
Wilhelmina, it
Henry?
is.
Okay.
It looks like, unfortunately, that got cut off in my quick edits, but Wilhelmina Henry, yes. And the school that she taught at is named after her, so that's also good news.
All right. Shout out to Mrs. Henry. All right. So Akon accused of planning to run Akon City as a Ponzi scheme. Mr. Stevens' allegations about Akon City and Akon's business ventures are not based on any evidence. So let's see. Akon has been accused of planning to use the city he's building in Senegal as a Ponzi scheme, according to legal documents filed by the artist's business partner. On Monday, March 7th, Devin Stevens, a music executive who's worked with stars including Jay-Z, Destiny's Child, and Akon himself, requested that a Manhattan Supreme Court judge freeze the crooner's assets in New York until a judgment is reached in the $4 million lawsuit Stevens filed against Akon in 2021. Stevens believes that Akon's assets must be withheld to ensure he receives his due sum if the judgment goes in his favor, citing the star's history of sordid business practices. According to Stevens' lawyer, Jeffrey Mulvitt, this could potentially include Akon's Wakanda-inspired city, an oceanfront village in his homeland of Senegal slated to run on his, quote, a coin, end quote, cryptocurrency. The project is estimated to cost $6 billion to complete. Yep. The Akon.
So once a con, always a con. I heard somewhere that that's what his stage name means, because he was in prison. So a con, like convict.
A convict.
But that's unfortunate. I know a lot of people were looking forward to that Wakanda-esque-ish city.
And you never know, it still might happen, but according to his business partner, most likely it might not. So we'll see.
We shall see. The House has passed a bill banning discrimination against natural hair. This article was posted on Friday, March the 18th. Some much welcome good news. The House of Representatives has passed the Crown Act, a bill that ensures hair traits historically associated with ethnicity are protected at work and in schools. The House Judiciary announced the decision via Twitter on Friday, writing, "Breaking. House Democrats have passed the Crown Act, a critically important civil rights bill that would explicitly prohibit discrimination on the basis of hair texture or hairstyles commonly associated with a particular race or national origin." The Crown Act was first introduced in January 19 by California State Senator Holly Mitchell. It is the first bill in American history to outlaw hair discrimination. The act is now one step closer to becoming a law and will go to the Senate for next consideration. According to The Hill, President Joe Biden has indicated that he plans to sign the Crown Act into law if it reaches his desk.
Wow, it's amazing, first of all, what California is doing, right? Not only with this Crown Act, looks like starting here in California.
Yeah, I did
But
some
also-
further research, and it looked like it started originated here in California, and 12 other states followed suit. So now they're looking at federal passage of this law.
Yeah, so if AB 3121 can follow in the same suit as this, it looks like federal reparations under HR 40, if fixed, and or another possible federal reparations bill for those who descend from U.S. chattel slavery. Hey, might be in order. Who knows?
Yeah, as California goes, so does the rest of the nation. That is definitely what we're hoping for with our reparations movement.
Body cam footage reveals the moment Black Arizona man is surrounded by police for attempting to cash $3,200 check he received for selling his speedboat. Almond Brewer, 32, who is Black, was surrounded by cops after an Arizona bank manager called the police on him while he was trying to cash a $3,200 check. The unidentified bank manager reportedly ran Brewer's check through a third-party verification system, and it came back inconclusive. The woman verified the check to the bank, but the manager only called her after calling the authorities. Brewer said he was shaken by the experience and feels like he was racially profiled. The incident comes just days after body cam footage was released of a similar situation involving Black Panther director Ryan Coogler. Let's take a look at some footage.
Before involving police.
Team 12's Nyela Charles spoke with diversity experts who say that this man's experience highlights an important lesson for banks throughout the country. Nyela?
Almond Brewer thought his trip to the Pinal County Federal Credit Union would be quick.
Man, that blows my mind, bro. That just blows my mind, man.
The professional basketball player went in to deposit a $3,200 check, but came out a suspect questioned by 5 Apache Junction police officers, initially accused of trying to cash a fake check. Brewer had just sold his boat to a woman he met on Facebook Marketplace. He said he thought cashing the check at the buyer's credit union would be his quickest option. But what happened next still stuns him to this day.
She was like, well, what was the check for? And I said, it was for one of my assets. I buy and sell boats, and I sold them off. And she kind of looked surprised.
No one at the bank would speak to 12 News for this story, but in an emailed statement said their workers saw red flags. An old credit union logo along with a routing and account number that didn't match their members' information. And when they ran a check verification search, the results were inconclusive, meaning it needed further review. And the manager called 911.
We just have somebody trying to cash a fake check with us. It's a fake personal check.
It was just, black guy, locks in his hair, tattoos, came on a Harley. Let's assume the worst.
What do they look like? He's African American.
Only one officer had body-worn camera on, and he was the last to arrive. So this is the only footage we have from that October day.
How could it be fraud when she wrote it, signed it, and she's a member of this bank?
Then the credit union made another call, one Brewer and diversity experts say should have come first. They contacted their customer, the woman who bought the boat, and she confirmed she wrote the check. By the time police knew about that, they had already been on scene nearly 10 minutes.
Why keep it going like that? Why embarrass somebody like that? Why, make them feel less than a man.
The Pinal County Federal Credit Union told 12 News in a statement in part, "We at Pinal County Federal Credit Union employ a diverse workforce and undergo diversity and inclusion training annually."
All right. So, yeah, another
Banking
while black. Yep.
Exactly. I didn't see the name of the bank in this, or did I miss that? Do we know what bank this is?
Yeah, there's no bank name in this article, but maybe we can put it in somewhere, maybe in the chat or something if we need to reference the bank. But yeah, I don't know what the bank is.
When I always see these headlines, I automatically go to Chase, but they're all pretty culpable. So. Mixed race Florida police chief 48 is fired after just 6 months on the job for refusing to promote white people and choosing candidates by asking which one is blacker. A Florida police chief accused of refusing to hire white people and giving promotions based on a minority-first approach was fired after just 6 months on the job following an investigation into several discrimination complaints. Former Fort Lauderdale Police Chief Larry Scirotto, 48, was fired on Thursday after an inquiry found that he allegedly once said in a conference room wall full of photos was too white, and added, "I'm going to change that." An investigation into the bias complaints concluded that Scirotto was unfairly focused on minority candidates for jobs and noted that he once asked which one is blacker when considering a promotion. Scirotto has vehemently denied ever saying that and has insisted he gave promotions to those who deserved them. From August to November, Scirotto promoted 15 people, 6 of whom were minorities, he told CNN. 6 out of 15 doesn't seem like an exorbitantly high number to me. I mean, are minorities not supposed to get promoted in this department?
Oh no, I mean, he's just trying to create some diversity. I don't see what the problem with that is, but obviously some other people feel like it's an issue.
Right, but 6 out of 15, that's not, what color, what were the rest of the people, 11 people white, and 6 is not enough? It's too much. It just doesn't, it's just not math, and the math's not mathing.
Well, to confirm about that previous, let's see, I think it was the banking while black story that we did. So just to confirm, that bank is called Federal Credit Union in Pinal County in Arizona. So that's Federal Credit Union.
Thank you.
All right. So, on to the next story. Reaction to David Ojabo injury raises questions, reveals truths. On Friday, Michigan linebacker David Ojabo had his draft stock crater when he suffered a torn Achilles tendon during the latest phase of the multi-month, quote, job interview, end quote, known as the pre-draft process. As noted by former NFL cornerback return specialist Bucky Brooks of NFL Media, the reaction to Ojobo's injury by the people in attendance was troubling and, in my view, telling. I know the NFL is a cold business, but watching the lack of concern or empathy from the scouts, coaches, and observers following David Ojabo's injury bugs me, Brooks tweeted. Perhaps someone should have checked on him instead of grabbing the ball and moving to the next drill. Just a thought. Let's check out some video. Yeah, the NFL could be cold, you know, and ruthless, unfortunately.
Yeah, is he okay?
Yeah, I don't really know if how he's doing, to be honest with you. I mean, I just kind of read the story. Hopefully he's doing okay. I did read something though, that the injury could obviously take a while to heal, and he may not be actually available to the article that I read until like pretty close to the end of the regular season.
Doesn't look or sound like his team cares much.
Yep.
Either way. All right. Black store owner reports robbery, gets punched by officer. Decatur, Alabama. An Alabama liquor store owner has sued after police officers responding to a robbery call at his store punched him in the face and broke his jaw in March 2020. The Decatur Daily reports that Kevin Penn sued the city of Decatur and police officers Justin Rippin on March 11th in federal court. Penn is black and Rippin is white. The suit alleges the incident is an example of systematic use of excessive force by Decatur Police Department that the city often ignores. The lawsuit alleges Penn's constitutional rights were violated by illegal seizure, false arrest, and excessive force seeking money damages. The lawsuit alleges the city regularly receives complaints that officers react with unjustifiable violence and false charges when a citizen speaks up or otherwise asserts his rights as an American citizen. The suit also accuses officers of using common charges like obstructing governmental operation, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest against local citizens. To protect and serve, huh?
Yep.
I don't think when they meant serve, they meant serve them a 1-2 knuckle sandwich punch, but there you go.
All right. DC convoy speaker says Black Lives Matter street will be tarred and feathered. A member of the People's Convoy said that he was going to tar and feather Black Lives Matter Plaza while speaking to a crowd gathered in Washington, D.C. The People's Convoy was inspired by the Canadian truckers' Freedom Convoy movement. The group gathered in the nation's capital to demonstrate against vaccine mandates and other COVID-19 protocols in the United States. In a video captured by the Daily Beast, a speaker standing on a stage bearing a sign for Freedom Convoy to 2022 tells a crowd to take back a street adorned with the slogan Black Lives Matter, which stretches for 2 blocks on 16th Street Northwest in DC. The street mural is located near the White House and it was painted in response to the social unrest following the Minneapolis police killing of a black man, George Floyd, in 2020. What's going to happen up here in DC, Black Lives Matter Street, we're going to take it back. All that paint's coming off that street, the speaker said. Before I get put in my grave, it's going to get tar and feathered. It's unclear who the speaker is, but People's Convoy organizer Michael Landis handed him the microphone, according to the Daily Beast. Wow. Yeah, I mean, hey, these people are getting emboldened, you know? I mean, they figure like, you know, black people just want to just say, hey, Black Lives Matter, and they're just like, no, we're going to tar and feather what's currently in the street. So
yeah, they're going way back in the torture vaults for that one. I had almost forgot about tar and feathering until this came up. So, you know, it's deeply ingrained. You know, they hold this type of historical atrocities close to their heart and bring it up whenever possible.
Yep, the vitriol is real. All right, fam.
For real.
So that's in the news.